Hello again, tiny humans, and welcome back to Art with Miss Wilkin. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about scissors. So we're going to talk a little bit about how we use scissors, how we don't use scissors, and the safest and easiest way to use them to cut. So let's get started. The first thing we want to talk about is how you hold the scissors when you are walking. So if you have to get up out of your seat or if you have to move around with your scissors, you always want to hold them by the blade, right? So by the part that cuts, but you want to make sure it's closed. You take your hand and you wrap it. Don't hold too tight because it'll hurt. But this way, when you're walking, you're not going to accidentally poke anybody or poke yourself. And it's the safest way to move around the classroom if you need to with your scissors. So, second thing, how do we hold the scissors? You see we've got a big opening, right? So like a big oval shape, and then a small opening like a little circle. So the easiest way to hold your scissors while you're cutting is to put your 3 fingers here, so your pointer finger, your middle finger, and your ring finger into the large spot. If you can fit your pinky in there, if it fits in your scissors, that's okay too. I like to leave mine out. And then your thumb through the small opening, and you can practice open, close, open and close. If this isn't comfortable in your hand, you can always try a different way of holding your scissors, but this is going to be the easiest and help you guys make some turns when you're cutting. So when you finally get your scissors to your seat, you know how to hold them. We got to figure out what we do with them and what we don't do with them. So the first thing is, scissors are for paper and paper only. Unless your teacher gives you some string to cut or maybe some ribbon to cut, scissors are for paper only. And if Mrs. Ayala or your other teachers give you something else to cut, they will tell you that it is okay. But scissors do not cut anything except for paper usually. They don't cut hair. Right? Ms. Wilkin doesn't know how to cut hair, so I'm not going to come over here and cut my little braid off, right? I would look silly. And I definitely don't want to cut my skin, right? So the scissors that we use, especially our smaller scissors like this, aren't super sharp and pointy, right? But they still do cut. So there is a chance that you could cut your fingers, right? So we never want to put our fingers in the scissors because it will hurt. We never want to poke anybody with the scissors. It will hurt. We want to use the scissors properly, right? Which means the right way, so that everyone is safe and we'll get a good result, right? So it will look very nice when we're finished. So I'm going to show you guys a really fun, easy way to practice your cutting, right? And your turning when you cut. So let's get started on that. Alright, so a really fun way to practice your cutting and to get to do a little bit of drawing is you can take anything to write with. So I'm using a marker so you guys can see my lines a little bit better, but you can use a crayon, a colored pencil, a regular pencil, or anything else that you have around you. You also need your scissors. I also have the little scissors. These are a little bit too small for Miss Wilkin's hand, so I have my big scissors here too. So I'm going to draw a couple lines. I'm going to draw a little bit wavy. I'm going to draw a line that's perfectly straight, or as straight as I can get it. I'm going to do a line that has big waves. I don't want to do tiny waves because that's going to be hard to cut. And then I'm going to do a line that has a turn in it, like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to practice my cutting by following along the lines that I drew. Now, when you're done cutting, you'll end up with a lot of crazy different shapes, and I can show you what we'll do with those. So, I'm going to practice. I'm going to go slow. Notice I'm pointing my scissors away from myself, cutting forward, and I'm holding my paper with my other hand. It helps to hold your paper up off your desk and go slowly. Now, I have to make this turn. It's easier if I turn my paper and keep cutting, and then I'm going to turn my paper again, and I'm going to keep cutting all the way, right? So now I have two pieces that fit nicely together, right? They don't have any of the crazy little fuzzies on them. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to start with my big wave line here. And do you see, as I'm cutting, getting as close to the line as I can, I'm going to move my hand up along the side. Just make sure I'm holding onto my paper. And I'm going to move. In this one, you can either move your paper or move your scissors, just like that. Good. This one is my straight line, so it should be super easy. Again, I'm going to go slow, go all the way across, making like little alligator chomps, right? So little baby alligator chomps as I go. So little chomp, I open up, little chomp, I open up. I'm going to follow my line all the way across. Very cool. So now I have all these little pieces that fit together, right? So what you can do with this is you can color each piece in and make it a kind of puzzle, right? Or if you want to, you can take a picture that you've already drawn. So Ms. Wilkin drew a picture of a pumpkin. I can turn it over on the back and draw my lines again to do my cuts. We can do different ones, so this time I'll do a zigzag, like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Take my scissors, slowly. This time I'm going to move my paper to help me. Remember, little chomps. Boop. It's okay if it's not perfect. See, Miss Wilkin missed a little bit of her line there. All that matters is that we're trying our best. So now, when I flip this over, I have a puzzle. Just like that. All right, so I would love to see what you guys do. All right, so when you're done cutting, like I said, you'll end up with a lot of kind of funky stripe pieces. And if you want, you can draw a picture first and then flip it over, draw your lines on the back, and cut it up for your own puzzle. I would love to see what you guys do. Definitely keep practicing using your scissors. Make sure that you're using them safely and that you're taking your time. We are not in a race. So I will see you guys next time.